things hopefully you've taken out of the videos I've been doing lately is the quest for momentum. That's what we look for to jump on trades. We're not trying to buy markets because they're cheap and they've gone down a lot. That's a surefire recipe for once. It only takes once to get absolutely hammered, because if you're trying to keep buying as the market keeps going down, at some point it will go down further than the depth of your pockets. That's really what's been happening right now, significantly further probably. So anyone trading in that way, they're going to be left hung out to dry. What you've got to be looking for is the momentum of the market, and that is the same principle whether you're looking at daily charts, 4-hour charts, 2-minute charts. I've been doing loads of videos on this over the last few weeks really. But one of the things that we'll want to talk about today is what we call the D1 Accelerator Strategy. This is a new strategy that we're launching in Monday next week, and I just want to share a few trades that have been coming up recently as the markets have been rotating back, and so we can jump on that momentum and be riding to some fantastic trading opportunities. What I'm showing on the chart is the euro against US dollar. It's a daily chart, and what we've done is we just adjusted the indicators just to speed them up a little bit compared to the regular D1, and what that's going to do is create more turns, more opportunities, and the ability for slightly more experienced traders to be able to get on some trades a bit earlier. Let me give you some examples of some recent trades. And what we're going to be doing is looking today and focusing on trades in line with the longer term trend direction. So we're going to push with the longer term momentum of the market, but also then get onto the short term momentum of the market. So we can see, a combination of momentums that are going to drive prices further in that direction. Let me tell you what I mean. So you can see here where my cursor is, the market, this indicator here, the trend signal line, the vector average line, turning from red to green, here turning from red to green. So the close of that bar, that's a potential buying opportunity. Now we need to have a look at what is the trend direction. Okay, if we're oversold, if we're below this 25 line, that means that we're looking for what we call a swing trade, which means that if we check the trend, you're looking at your monthly trends there, okay? You see the monthly arrow is pointing up. You see that over here? Put my cursor over the entry bar. Monthly arrow is pointing up. Don't worry about the weekly for a swing trade. It doesn't matter so much. So what we're looking at there is that the longer term trend of the market is up. The momentum of the longer trend is up. And now, because we're turning back from red to green on these indicators on the daily, that's now up as well. Now, ordinarily, we'd have got on this trade a day or two later. But with the D1 Accelerator, we're able to identify it a bit earlier. It doesn't make a huge difference in pip terms for this, but what it does, in this example anyway, it gets us in typically a bit earlier and helps us to go with a better reward to risk for the opportunity and a lovely run higher. What we then saw actually was that, as it got to the end of February, the trend changed direction. Look at the monthly arrow on the left. See as I move from bar to bar, flick over there, okay? So the monthly trend has now turned down. This means that it doesn't matter about the existing trade, but we're going to then look at the next trade. So as we then turn down on this bar here for the 12th of March, you can then see the indicators turn from green to red, back in line above 75, that's overbought, back in line with that monthly downtrend. So now the overall longer term momentum of the market is now down, combined with the entry of a resumption of the downturn in momentum on the daily. Do you see? So we're looking for an established longer term momentum, and we're looking for an entry in line with that momentum. And look at the euro from here. So from an entry at 111.84, you can see it down at 108 here. So massive moves, really solid moves. And we're seeing this all over the park. We're going to, because it's a volatile thing right now. I say volatile, it depends on the currency you're trading. Something like euro against the US dollar, it's less so, because there has been a flight into the euro and there has been a flight into the dollar. So both of them sort of held up, so the volatility isn't as bad as in some other markets where the moves have been much more extreme. Something like dollar CAD, for example, dollar, lots of movement into the dollar because it's seen as a safe haven, lots of movement out of the Canadian dollar because of the exposure to the oil market. So you're seeing some massive moves there. Let's have a look through some of the other opportunities, and we're going to talk about swing trades today on the D1 Accelerator. We're also going to talk about some what we call continuation trades. I want to go through all of it today in this video. New Zealand's yen is another chart that I wanted to have a look at, and what we can see here, we're turning down, okay? So let me just zoom there a little bit. So we've had the indicators turn from green to red. That's a turn down, okay? So let's go with trades that are only in line with the momentum. You can trade against the trend, but it is a discretionary choice. It's slightly higher risk. Cursor over the entry bar, okay? And what you're seeing there on the left-hand side is your weekly and monthly arrows. And what color are they? They're both green. That means that we're fighting the momentum on the higher time frames, okay? So that's a bit like trying to swim upstream. You can do it, you know, and sometimes you can make a quick buck on it, but the safer play is to swim downstream. So we're going to go against that. Effectively, we're looking to go against that longer term direction that is up. So we're going to leave this trade alone. And it's a shame because it doesn't half fall. But then you start to see that the trend then switches, just like it did on Eurodollar. So we can then start to see here, we've then got a turn back up again. Indicator here turning from red to green. Indicator here turning from red to green. What's the longer momentum? Well, the arrows are down. So again, we're fighting against that longer term momentum. The trade police very much out on us at this point. But again, it's a good job that it was. You know, this time it was good to avoid it, and that's the point. That's the key principle here. Not every churn, not every trade is going to be what you want it to be. Some turning points don't really end up being so, and we could have spotted that simply by looking at the longer term trend. This meant that the longer term trend is down, so this is a move up in a longer term downtrend. So it's unlikely to be that big, okay? So what you've got, it's a bit like a form, you know, the best football team in the world. They might lose a game, but they're only probably going to lose one in a row, and then they're going to go back winning again. This is the same type of principle, okay? So next, we then start to roll back down again. This is what we call a continuation trade. So why is this a continuation? This is a short trade. We're going to sell it on the close here at 63.92, and this was on the 16th of March, so only a couple of days ago. We're now Wednesday with the 18th. What you've got here is, again, a confluence of indicators. It's a continuation because we're down on red and we're down with red here. But if you look on the left-hand side, the arrows are now down for the weekly and the monthly. So whilst we're on swing trades, we need to be overbought and just the monthly. On a continuation, we need the weekly and the monthly. So now we're looking for momentum on the monthly, the weekly, and we're looking to resume that momentum on the daily. It seems complicated, but you know what, it really isn't, because all it is, okay, we've turned red, okay, great. So that's a possible entry. Now let's look at the trend. What are my arrows doing? Are my arrows matching that direction? Yes, they are. Okay, then I've got a pretty good entry point. Next, what happens? Well, here we are, and we're having a nice fall so far. It's down about, 100 points, or up. We're in profit by about 100 points at this stage. So it's a nice trading opportunity, do you see? But what we're doing here, it's the same thing we're doing on the 2-minute charts, the 4-hour charts, the daily charts. We're finding momentum, we're riding that momentum. We can look at all sorts of other markets. The pound against the Australian dollar. Here, again, that pullback, that then led to a move back up again, back in line with the arrows on the left-hand side, the weekly and the monthly, our trend finder there. Again, market then pushing on really nicely. That's had about a 200, maybe a 250 point rally, nearly 300 point rally after the buy on the 16th of March. So these markets are putting in some fantastic extensions there if we're able to spot the momentum in the first place. The good news is, if you've got the right technology, it doesn't have to be that complicated to actually do it. Euro against the Canadian dollar. This is absolutely one of the markets that's been really going for it over the last few weeks, perhaps paused over the last 10 days or so prior to that massive run higher. Movement down against the weeklies and monthlies. Monthlies most important there, but then back up again in line with those monthlies. And again, a really nice move. So long from 156.70, currently up about 100 points. So when you're looking at in these quick moves, you want to be taking something to that sort of order. You can look at the ATR, maybe that's your first target, and you know, just looking to ride that next momentum move. So that was EuroCAD. Let's go from the top of the alphabet. Let's take a look at Aussie CAD. Let's have a look at the last few days. Market moving up here, okay, that's against the longer term trend, so we'll avoid that. Then we move back down, and we're selling it quite low down, aren't we? 86.83. But what does the market do? it continues. The momentum carries the price further lower. This is why this D1 Accelerator is going to be such a great strategy for people who just want to pick up that short-term daily chart momentum and ride it out. And here we are, best part of 180 points lower or so, ATR 128, so way beyond the average true range for that market. Aussie Swiss, similarly, against the trend here, avoid it, moving on. That's a rotation back down in line with the weekly, in line with the monthly. We're looking for that pattern of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, rolling back down again. The path of release resistance is down. The momentum of the market is down. So we continue on that downward trajectory. And it was a great move. Aussie yen here as well. Again, avoid. There's your opportunity from green to red, rolling down once again from 70 down to 63. That is nearly a 10% fall in the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. That is a outrageously big move for currencies right now, and we're seeing that all over the park. Aussie New Zealand, again, monthly trend down. So look, this is a swing trade, so this line is above 75. Okay, you see that? So we're above 75. That means when this turns, we don't need to worry about the weekly because we were overbought. We just worry about the monthly. So we turn down here, close of this bar, 104.50, pretty much. What was the close? 104.50.9. And where's the sell? Click on there, okay? And look at the monthly, arrow down, riding that momentum down as well. We can look at Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc, very recent short trading opportunity, up around 60 or 70 pips on this. That's a decent move on Canadian dollar against the Swiss. A continuation short there. Even copper, I was remarking to my colleague just the other day that, what was it, Tuesday or Monday, sorry, that copper really hasn't done the sort of moves that one might expect. It hasn't fallen off quite as much as certainly I would have expected given everything else and what everything else has done. My word, I spoke too soon and I should have backed my own view, really, but a significant fall in the last couple of days. But there was the entry. Why? Because the weekly was down, the monthly was down, these lines turning back from green to red, giving us that continuation entry on the D1 Accelerator. And look at this move, best part of around about a 16-17% move in price terms. That is huge, really. And in terms of a leverage position, that is a significant profitable opportunity. Euro sterling, as I say, this is just a little bit different, something a bit different for today. And here we are rotating really nicely up on euro sterling as well. And then finally, just to show you one on dollar yen, we're in a buy at the moment. We're break even on it. It may be a loser, it may be a winner. We're going to find out over the next couple of days. But the momentum of the market is up on the monthly. It turned up here. We had to buy it quite high up, didn't we? But you know what? It's fine. That's just is what it is. So with a wide stop, you're going to be doing smaller risk anyway per point. But it's an interesting opportunity, and we'll see where it goes. Certainly at the moment, we're up only about 10 pips or so. It's nothing really. ATR of two full dollars, 200 points, and we'll see where the market goes. So we'll tune in. We'll probably do an update on that in the next few days. But that's the D1 Accelerator. Like our other strategies, it's about momentum. Find the momentum, ride that momentum. That's what trend signal strategies really are all about. So hopefully you found that interesting. And if you'd like to find out more about us, make sure you get in touch. Go to trend-signal.com, give us a call, pop us an email, whatever you want to do. We're here to help our students be more profitable with their trading. We have coaching programs, live trading workshops, indicators, tools that can help you to be more successful too. All the best, guys, and good luck with your trading.